pre-case review. Help available 24/7. Hablamos Español. 809 million. 809 million. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney Bobby Tick-Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
Hey, it's Phil Shaver with HomeSmart, and I want to buy your house. I'm a local investor that buys homes for cash all over Maricopa and Pinell County. I buy inherited homes, nice homes, rental homes, homes that are behind on mortgage payments, and I even buy ugly homes that need fixing. Also, are you looking to get closer to market value for your house? As a licensed realtor, I've been able to buy and sell thousands of homes. Since I'm local, you can call me directly on my cell phone, 480-409-9999. Again, that's 480-409-9999. I don't work for a big corporation or hedge fund, so I can only buy 3 to 5 homes per month. There are no fees involved, and you can pick your own close date. The best part is I buy homes as is, so you don't have to worry about doing any repairs. Again, you can call me directly at 480-409-9999, or you can go to my website, gosoldaz.com. That's gosoldaz.com.
For nearly 25 years, Primavera has helped thousands of Arizona students succeed with an accredited world-class education, tuition-free and from home. Don't wait. Enroll today at chooseprimavera.com. That's chooseprimavera.com.
If you're a fan of any sport on the planet, college or pro, then we are right where you want to be.
The place to come when you want to have too much fun.
Real sports fans need a sports book powered by Hard Rock Bet. Follow the money line to Twin Arrows and too much fun.
Twin Arrows.
The best indoor tailgate party in Flagstaff with massive HD screens, cold drinks, game time food specials, and best service is at Arrow Sports Bar. After the game, get back in the game at craps, blackjack, and slots. Now that's too much fun.
The place to come when you want to have too much fun.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Twin Arrows.
Superstar Car Wash, the car wash with superpowers. Sign up for a free car wash today. That's right, totally free for a limited time. Because we love what makes you shine. See website for details.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
It's a Thursday here on the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert. Producer Evan is on the other side of the glass. Thanks for making us a part of your day. A lot to get to over the next 2 hours. We'll start to get a look into what the Suns may do this offseason. The Cardinals may add another quarterback to their QB room, but we start with the bounce-back performance last night from the Arizona Diamondbacks after getting blown out in the first game of the series against Milwaukee. It was a power party for the D-backs, and they were back in the win column.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
I mean, the offense was good last night. Erod was good last night. The bullpen was good last night. And it was a 6-2 win for the Arizona Diamondbacks to force the rubber match of this 3-game series that's going to take place this afternoon. And I want to start with the bullpen because I think this is the thing around this team right now. They used 4 relievers last night. 4 relievers to get 13 outs in the 6-2 win. The second time in the last 4 games that they have used 4 relievers. And I will tell you, I've got even more statistics that show you how much they've used their bullpen as of late. Over the last 8 games, Diamondback starters have accounted for 32 1/3 innings pitched. Now, I know how to do this math very quickly. 32 divided by 8 is 4. meaning on average, the Diamondbacks are getting over their last 8 games 4 innings from their starters. You've been watching baseball long enough, even in an era where a starting pitcher going 7, 8, 9 innings is a rarity. You know, just like I know, that is not sustainable. Now, mind you, that in those 8 starts, the 32 innings, the starters for the Diamondbacks, who are only going an average of 4 innings a start, they have an ERA north of 9. Forget that for just a second. That you're not even getting good starting pitching over those 4 innings. You're only getting 4 innings on average as of late from your starters. So, Torey Lovullo finds himself way too often, way too frequently in a spot where he needs double-digit outs from his bullpen. Remember what we said about this bullpen before the season started. It was a whole lot of question marks. What would Paul Sewald have for you at this stage of his career? Was the dart throw of Jonathan Loaizaga a smart one? Can Kevin Ginkel get back on track? Is Juan Murillo one of the young pitchers that is going to emerge this season? Just some of the questions that we asked in the spring about this bullpen. But one thing we could all agree to in debating those questions and debating what the answers were to those questions, I think we were all in agreement. Asking this bullpen to bail you out night after night after night would be a recipe for disaster. Your starters are giving you the 23rd most innings pitched in all of baseball. So looking at all 30 teams in baseball, the Diamondbacks are getting the 23rd most innings from their starters. Not anywhere close to what it needs to be to make up for what this bullpen is going through right now. I mean, there's a case to be made that they just ran Andrew Hoffman into the ground. And that's why they needed to make that move to get Abner up here because they needed a fresh arm. So yes, the Diamondbacks won last night. Yes, they're 16-13 so far in the early part of the season. Yes, I loved seeing them bounce back last night. I loved seeing some of the individual performances that we saw last night. The guys that hit the home runs. All great. All fantastic. The bullpen continues to be my worry. The bullpen continues to be the thing that I'm monitoring because it is where this can fall off the rails. This is where a season can go sideways. If you overwork a bullpen, I mean, we talked about this yesterday. The pace that some of these relievers are on for the 2026 season, and Torey had to use 4 guys last night. In general, over his last 8 games, on average, he's needed 15 outs from his bullpen. When we get to August and September, what is going to be left in the tank? What are these guys going to have? And sure, you can make a move here. You can make a move there. We're going to talk in hour number 2 of the program. They made one roster move yesterday. I don't think that's enough. We'll look at some of the candidates they have down in the minors that can help. There are ways to fix this. There are ways to get, quote unquote, fresh arms into the building. But you are not going to sustainably win games if you are asking the bullpen to do this much every single night. The Brewers scored 2 runs last night. You needed 13 outs from your bullpen. Erod didn't give you length. And again, he was good over the 4 2/3, but an elevated pitch count. Torey doesn't want to overwork his starters, doesn't want them going out there throwing 115, 120 pitches. So he's got to do this delicate dance. He understands how important all these games are. He understands the value of a bounce-back win last night in Milwaukee. He understands all of that. He's trying to win as many games as he can right now to build that cushion for the summertime. We saw barely missed the playoffs each of the last 2 seasons. These early games, they matter. Torey is dancing a very delicate dance. He needs to balance winning as many games as he can in this early part of the season to build up that cushion while not putting his foot on the gas pedal and the car runs out of gas on the highway. We don't make it to the destination. We're a few exits short and we've got to pull over to the side of the road and phone a friend. And guess what? At that stage of the season, I don't know who's answering the call. It is a delicate balance, and right now, I don't think there's a balance at all. It is skewed heavily towards they are trying to grind out these wins. And so just after yesterday, we talked about the bullpen being a problem, or at least the usage of the bullpen being a problem. You had to ask them to get 13 outs last night. You used 4 guys last night, the second time in your last 4 games that you've had to use 4 relievers to try to get you the outs that you needed to win a game. It's unsustainable. This will not work. This is not a long-term winning formula. They may be getting away with it right now, but it will not be sustainable as we get to July, August, and September.
It's not sustainable now. I mean, even right this second, you are talking about a team today that has Mike Soroka on the mound who just threw 35 pitches in the first inning.
So we're not off to what you're telling me. I'm sitting. What you're telling me, we're not off to a great start today. You're telling me we may have
Brewers up 3-0. It was a 35 pitch first inning for Mike Soroka.
I mean, this isn't the good thing about this. But if you're losing and you're down 4, 5, 6 runs and you need to pull Soroka out of the game early, I believe Brendan Pfaadt would be available to soak
Correct.
up a ton of innings.
I think they should just go to him.
So when you're
winning or losing,
when you're losing, it's kind of easy to just say, "Hey, we're down multiple runs. Our pitcher doesn't have it. We're going to kind of give up here, and we're just going to ask our long man to mop it up, and you can save everybody." The problem is when you're winning these games and you're playing 1-run game after 1-run game after one-run game, and every game seems winnable. Down 1, tied, up 1. Every game feels like it's right there for the taking. So you know what? I'm going to burn my high leverage arms. I'm going to use them day after day, moment after moment, because these wins matter. Every single one of them counts the same. And so it is a delicate balance. And it looks like it's not on a good pace today, although if it continues to trend the way it's trending, you can use Brendan Pfaadt and save your bullpen arms. But this is a problem. This is something that needs to be addressed, and it can be addressed in a couple of different ways. And we'll break down some of the ways that it can a little bit later on here. I do want to talk about the other good things that came from this game last night, about the power surge from the offense. Adrian Del Castillo with a home run last night. Nolan Arenado. I continue to be amazed how Nolan Arenado is doing what he is doing, hitting .284 to start the season, has 5 home runs. He hit 12 all of last year. And you look at some of the underlying numbers.
a huge nerve.
It makes no sense to me how he is doing this.
0 sense. He's not hitting the ball hard.
He's striking out more than he used to.
He's striking out more. He's
not
chasing pitches out of the zone more than he ever has. I don't know.
It is smoke and mirrors is a phrase that we've used to describe some of the early part of the Diamondback season. Smoke and mirrors for Nolan Arenado. And he's been great as of late. But you look at some of the underlying data to try to figure out what he's doing differently, and it does not tell a story. Now, Nolan also had one of the weirdest outs I've ever seen on a base path, where he hits a ground ball. The throw goes past the first baseman, but it doesn't go that far past the first baseman. Nolan, I guess, thinks it's 10 years ago, and he's still got a little bit of sprint speed because he really doesn't. Tries to take off for second and gets thrown out.
Pretty easily.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. Wasn't even particularly close.
No, not at all.
So good night for Nolan with the home run. Not so great on the base paths there. And then Cattell and Corbin add home runs in the 9th. A little insurance. Paul Sewald shuts the door there in the bottom of the frame, and the Diamondbacks get back into the win column, down 3-0 early. Mike Soroka going on the mound as they getaway day, as they finish up their 3-game set with Milwaukee. We'll keep you updated on anything important or of note that comes from this game today. Also, something that we should be keeping an eye on in this game, speaking of important updates, how about Ildemaro Vargas in his 22-game hitting streak that he has right now? Just this season, if you go back to last year, I think it's like 24 or 25 games.
Yeah. It's insane.
It is the 3rd longest streak since 1940. Now, that obviously DiMaggio's 56 before that, but since 1940, the closest anyone's ever gotten is 30. Ildemaro Vargas is at 22 this season, 25 if you date it back to last
hit
year.
30?
Joe Torre was on the list, but I think he tied Torre at 22. I have it in my notes here somewhere. If you give me a second, I think I can pull it up.
That's crazy.
I don't believe that. I think the name. So Ildemaro Vargas now at 22 games entering today. So if he gets to he gets to
23.
He gets to 23. Joe Torre's at 22. Edgar Renteria in 2006 had 23 games.
Okay.
And in 1976, Ron LaFleur, I think, 30 games for Detroit in 1976.
And wait, who is that?
Ron LaFleur? I mean, yeah, okay. All right. You want me to do it? You want me to do it or do you want to do it?
You got it.
Okay. LaFleur. Different spelling, though. This is LeFlore. So I could be butchering his name. Apologies. I mean, 30-game hit streak is the third longest is the longest hit streak since 1940.
Since the 56. That's crazy.
Yeah, so Ildemaro Vargas' 22-game hit streak to start a season is tied for MLB's third longest streak since 1940.
That's a trivia question everywhere. Who has the longest hit streak in D-backs history?
It is now Ildemaro Vargas with his 22. So he continues to be great. John brings up a good point that Nolan was tagged out by the third baseman at second base. The whole play was a bit of a mess last night. Ildemaro Vargas with his 22nd straight game with a hit to start this season. He has 3 dating back to last year as well. And so just incredible. I mean, what a story he continues to be. Hopefully he can continue to make this streak grow, and it can be a fun little story for us to all continue to follow here as the season moves along. 480-864-1060. That is the phone number for you to get involved here today with the program. You can also chat away with us on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. What are the Suns missing, and will they be able to get it? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Was Kevin Durant out because it is a 7-game series and we could afford to lose a game? Maybe. I was surprised to see him on the bench. Everyone was surprised. The odds makers were surprised. Who knew that the Houston Rockets without Durant can't find someone to make a bucket? You know, Sengun's a very good player, and in years past, he might have been the guy to try and carry the load, but it didn't look good at all for the Rockets without KD.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. After suffering an injury, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? At Morgan & Morgan, we will hold your hand every step of the way. From our one-click sign-up, mobile apps, and 24/7 availability, we make it easy to get your case started right from the comfort of your couch. All firms are not the same. The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade 2026. Live at Chase Field, September 6th, 2026. With special guest, Jimmy Eat World. Get tickets now at livenation.com. For more, visit mychemicalromance.com.
Fridays at 5, I'm out exploring. From hiking up Camelback to skiing at Snowbowl, the adventures never stop with AAA. It's membership that travels with me, whether behind the wheel or a passenger. In my ride, my buddies, or a rental. AAA's got 24/7 expert help with tows, battery help, and more. Plus branch services like free passport photos and trip planning. Membership gives you all this and more for less than $6 a month. And I can add loved ones for half off. Call or visit your local branch today. AAA, your membership to go.
Meineke always treats your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke's certified technicians will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care. Schedule an appointment at Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
For nearly 25 years, Primavera has helped thousands of Arizona students succeed with an accredited world-class education, tuition-free and from home. Don't wait. Enroll today at ChoosePrimavera.com. That's ChoosePrimavera.com.
Half my family is in Boston, which makes me a half Jowd. But all of me would like to know what the hell the Celtics are thinking and doing. How is it that they still have not figured out how to finish games at home in the postseason? Because it happened again last night versus Philly. Note to self, stop asking guests on the show how much separation there is between Boston and the other contenders in the East. Answer, not much. especially if they're blowing 13-point leads at home in an elimination game, only to get blown out in the end. Championship teams don't do that, yet the Celtics do it all the time. A championship team would already be home, getting the rest they need, while everybody else in the East is beating each other down. Instead, they gave Philly a reason to believe. And if Joel Embiid can show up in Game 6 the way he did last night, my half fam could have a full-on problem. How have you not figured this out yet, half fam? I'm Jim Rome. Jim Rome here. How do I reward Janet as the best mother ever on Mother's Day? Well, with the best gift ever, Aura frames. Your photos actually look like real prints, and there are fun interactions, and then you can frame instantly from anywhere, plus smart photo cropping. Absolutely amazing. Save on gifts that moms love at auraframes.com, and for a limited time, get $25 off the Carver mat frame with code ROME, R-O-M-E. Support the show by mentioning the Jim Rome Show at checkout. Terms and conditions do apply. auraframes.com, code ROME.
Need parts fast? Need them now? O'Reilly is fast. Just one part that makes O'Reilly Auto Parts stand apart. Right now at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts, you can get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 qualifying brake rotors. Ask the professional parts people about additional brake pad and rotor upgrade options available at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
ASU Weekend Baseball happening over on KAZG 1440. Join the Sun Devils on the diamond this Friday as they travel to Florida to take on UCF. Head coach Willie Bloomquist is ready to start off May baseball with a road win. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, on the call live. It's game 1 between ASU and the University of Central Florida. Pregame at 2:45 p.m. and first pitch at 3 over on KAZG 1440.
Just a quick baseball update for you before we get into the Suns. Brennan Woodruff, who was the starter for Milwaukee today, he left in the second inning. Reading some stuff on social media here because we were watching the show. I wasn't looking up at the screen. Apparently, the fastball velo was significantly down. It was sitting at 92, 93 all season. It was 87 in that second inning. So never a good sign when a pitcher's velocity is down that low this early in a start. And so Milwaukee's already into their bullpen with the way things were going with Mike Soroka. The Diamondbacks could be into their bullpen. So could be a bullpen day for both teams before it is all said and done. Again, we'll keep you updated on that as the show progresses. Matt Ishbia and Brian Gregory meeting with the media, I believe, as we speak. I know they were speaking before we went on the air. I don't know if Brian Gregory is still answering questions. I know he was up at the podium when we walked in here to do the show. Was listening a little bit to what Brian Gregory, to what Matt Ishbia had to say, and he was taking some questions. So was listening to that right before we went on the air. We'll get into more probably tomorrow and early next week on some of our takeaways from that. I want to sit down and really listen to it in full. I got a couple chunks from it here right before we went on the air, but there will be work to be done. I'm sure that Matt Ishbia is talking about how that there is stuff to do in the summer to make this team even better. And I think we're all in agreement that the Suns can't just run it back, right? They can't just run this team back from the group that they had a year ago, right? That doesn't, despite 45 wins, despite the postseason run, despite all of the positives, I think it would be considered a disappointment if they just brought back Mark Williams, they just brought back Jordan Goodwin, they just brought back Colin Gillespie, and they just said, hey, we're just going to keep this same group, and we're going to hope that another year in this system, it's going to make us a better team. We're going to win more games. We're going to be in the top 6. Everything's going to be okay. Because I think we all feel like there's more that the Suns can do. There's stuff missing from the Suns. A difference maker at center. Probably somebody who's more of a true point guard. Certainly they need to get better in the defensive rebounding department. Those are all areas that we think they could probably be better in next season, right? So if you just run it back, if you keep the same group, I don't know if that group is going to get better in those specific areas. Well, you may say, Chris, if the Suns need to go out and get those things, how are they going to get them? What answers do they have on the roster? And I think this comes to a really interesting philosophical conversation that I saw being had on social media. John Voida over at Bright Side of the Sun was talking about how in 2030, so 4 years down the road, the Suns find themselves in a really interesting spot. A lot of stuff kind of converges in 2030. Devin Booker's contract expires. The Bradley Beal money comes off the books. They have their draft picks back. It all converges in 2030. It all happens in that same offseason. And the point that John was making is that with knowing that that's the light at the end of the tunnel, that in 2030, your financial freedom is basically back. Your draft pick freedom is back. You control your pick in 2030. Like you are back in control of your destiny. That you shouldn't do anything right now in the short term to mess that timeline up. You should not sacrifice anything in 2030 and beyond to try to win right now. And John got into a little back and forth with some people on social media and also mentioned that, hey, you can still go out there and try to hit doubles, but Oklahoma City and San Antonio aren't going anywhere anytime soon. And the Suns in the next 4 seasons between now and 2030 are not going to be in a position to seriously threaten those teams. So take swings, try to make your team better, but do so with the idea of we're not sacrificing 2030 and beyond. We are not sacrificing that window when it opens. You can do a bunch of stuff in the short term. You can do a bunch of stuff in the 4 years between now and then, but 2030, we're not going to change anything. And so bringing it back to where this team is, what this team might need to go do, what answers do they have on the roster? Well, the playmaker at center, the difference maker at center, the defensive rebounding, the answer on the roster is Kaman Malawach. The defensive rebounding answer is more of Rasheer Fleming and Kaman Malawach, right? Those are answers that they have on the roster. Point guard, maybe you go get somebody out there. Maybe you try to find somebody at pick 47 that can help you be a rotational piece. That's what the Suns are going to have to do. The Suns are going to have to hit on picks like pick 47. They're going to have to maybe entertain the idea of what can Royce O'Neal get us in a trade? What can Grayson Allen get us in a trade? Is that better than them being on the roster for us? Are the draft picks or the players that we get back a better fit, a better contract, a better situation for us? I mean, that's really what is at their disposal. I don't think Devin Booker is going to go anywhere. I don't think Jalen Green's going to go anywhere. I think they're going to try to give this a run next year with those two guys over the course of a full season, because from what little I did listen to from Matt Ishbia today, he pointed it out probably 3 or 4 times, the health question. Them not being healthy this season, having the most games missed by starters. He didn't use it as a crutch or an excuse, but he certainly pointed it out. And that made me think, at least from a top line perspective, 30,000-foot view, they feel like this group didn't get a fair shake, even though they won 45 games and made the postseason, that they didn't actually get to see this at 100% strength. And so I don't think those guys are going anywhere. So that's going to lock you into what you're going to be able to do with the rest of this roster. Now, I'm of the belief that they can't just run it back, that the roster needs to continue to improve. But when you take the idea of moving Booker, when you take the idea of moving Green, when you kind of limit what your options are, it's hard to see how they are going to be able to improve. And I'll leave you with this. We'll see what producer Evan feels about this. Last year, and we've said this, that last year was kind of paint by numbers for Brian Gregory as the GM. It was, you got to trade Durant, you got to decide what to do with Bradley Beal. The moves kind of, step 1, step 2, step 3. The instructions were right there for you, right? There was kind of a new GM manual for you to follow. That's not always the case. And we've said this year is going to be a little more challenging. I would present it to you this way. This is actually our first look at Brian Gregory as a team builder. This is our first look at Brian Gregory actually putting together a roster. Does he fall victim to the success that they had last year? And does he try to swing for a home run? Or to use the John Voita example, does he stay the course? Does he try to improve the team on the margins? Does he try to hit doubles, singles, improve the team on the margins, make small incremental changes, maybe a new face here, a new face there, but it's not a complete makeover? We are really going to get to see the team-building philosophy of Brian Gregory. You saw it a little bit last year, but you knew they were going to trade Durant. You kind of knew where they were going to trade him to, and that made it easy to kind of figure out who was going to come back in those trades. Bradley Beal, you kind of knew that they weren't going to find a suitor for him, and so the wave and stretch versus just a straight wave was the conversation, the question mark. Now there are choices. Now there are forks in the road. There are draft picks to make. Pick number 47. There are potential trades of Grayson Allen, of Royce O'Neal, of other pieces on this roster. Do they bring back Mark Williams? What does that contract look like? How do they value him? All of these things, we'll get to see how Brian Gregory chooses to deal with them. We get to see what he is like a team builder. But for me, big picture, I don't think they can just run it back. They have to find ways to improve this group.
I do think just from comments that were put out there by Ishbia today, right before we walked into this room, I think you made a great point. He kind of went down the injury track, saying they didn't really get the fair shake. What do you really know is a conversation we had the other day. Like, what do they really know about Devin Booker and Jalen Green playing together? And the last thing that I thought was very interesting was he talked about the players getting better. Well, our players are going to get better, and these guys are going to grow together. So there was a lot in there that just in the 10 minutes we got to listen before we went on air here that makes you believe they're going to keep a lot of this roster the same. And they may make some moves on the margins. They may add a piece here, add a piece there. I don't think you're going to see major moves this year. I'm interested to see what they'll do with Mark Williams, but I don't think they're going to make major wholesale changes to this roster.
And it also depends on, what is out there, right? What ends up becoming a possibility that maybe as we sit here today isn't one, right? I mean, it's the NBA. Stuff happens, right? I mean,
stuff happens every day in the NBA.
Every day in the NBA, there's something new. And a player that right now isn't available all of a sudden becomes available because of X, Y, and Z, right? So you just don't know exactly what it's going to be. I just know for me, I'm speaking for myself here, and I think there are a lot of listeners out there that would feel the same. If they just ran it back with the same group, it would feel a little disappointing.
I don't disagree. I think it would feel disappointing from an aspect of not only to build on momentum, I think it would feel disappointing when talking about Brian Gregory in a way that, hey, he had to paint by numbers, but he did a nice job last year. And it would feel like you lost a little bit of the vibe that was around Brian Gregory of the pleasant surprise.
I think that's fair. I think the vibes would take a little bit of a hit, not a significant hit. Listen, Brian, if you're listening, you're maybe still answering questions.
The alignment.
I'm in. I'm still in. I see what we're doing here. I'm on board. You won 45 games. I said that you were going to win more games this past season. The team you put together did. So I'm in. You backed me up, right? I'm just a radio guy that had a take. You made me look smart. I appreciate you. I think you, in year one, looked like you knew what you were doing as a GM when, at first, I was a little suspicious. But the vibes would take a small hit if you just completely ran it back. Because I could see somebody, and I may be in this place when we get to next year. How am I supposed to expect you're going to be any better? How am I supposed to get there? Is it just supposed to be, we're going to be healthy this year? Because that's not really a bet that I like making. Just betting on, we just need to be healthy. That's fine. Doesn't always work that way. And so, again, I don't think they can run it back. It doesn't sound like here in the early going they're going to do anything major. But let's see. There's plenty of time, right? We got months and months. We got the entire summer for Brian Gregory and Jordan Ott and Matt Ishbia and the entire crew to put together what this team's going to look like next season. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also chat away with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Our guy John says Booker and Green never got hot on the same night. And I think that's some of the stuff that you point to if you're a believer in let's mostly run it back, is that we never really got to see it at 100%. And you may be right, but I think that's a harder sell than making actual changes to the roster. When we come back, Could the Cardinals add themselves a future Hall of Famer to their roster? Should they? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RTO Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RTO Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
Beat the spring cleaning rush with big savings and priority bookings by calling our heroes over at Zero Res. Hey, it's Audrey. I have personal experience with Zero Res. They came in and completely made my home smell way more fresh than it did. And it's not because I smell funky. It's because, well, I've got pets, you know, and I had family over during the holidays, so we'll blame it on them. And they came and completely helped change my winter blues into springtime cleans. Zero Res removes all of that winter buildup and lingering odors, giving your home a fresh, spring-ready feel, preparing your home for the brighter days ahead. And don't forget about your air ducts, because they are the lungs of your home. And if they're dirty, your indoor air quality is going to suffer. This month, get 3 rooms, Zero Resified from Phoenix's #1 carpet cleaner, starting at just $129. And whenever you mention KDUS, receive a free hallway cleaning and take $75 off your air duct cleanings. Call Zero Res right now at 480-507-2419 or go online at ZeroResPhoenix.com and say you want the KDUS special.
The Psychedelic Furs are back live. May 28th, 7:30 p.m. at the Celebrity Theater. The Psychedelic Furs. Playing all the hits with special guests. We Are Scientists. Tickets on sale now at celebritytheater.com. The Psychedelic Furs, brought to you by Danny Zalisco Presents.
AAA membership travels with you in any car, whether driver or passenger. It's 24/7 expert help with towing, battery, and branch services across the valley. Join AAA for less than $6 a month and add loved ones for half off. Call or visit your local branch today.
Hi, I'm John Ray, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. Getting engaged? So friends, listen up. Shane Company engagement rings are protected with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We stand behind the same quality we've offered since 1929. Our rings are crafted to last. It's why our warranty is the only one that protects your center stone. We also cover repairs, resizings, cleanings, and so much more. That's money you keep for you and your family, because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
With the Global Credit Card, you earn reward points for every purchase. Use your rewards at checkout at many of your favorite stores, or use points instead of cash when you shop online. You can even use them to book a flight up to 3 days in advance. New York, Vegas, Albuquerque. From groceries to getaways, redeem your way. Apply for your Global Credit Card now at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
Superstar Car Wash, the car wash with superpowers. Sign up for a free car wash today. That's right, totally free for a limited time. Because we love what makes you shine. See website for details.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Tom Izzo, Michigan State head basketball coach.
I've had more than a couple job offers in the NBA and looked at one last year with Phoenix, and my former player, Matt Ispia, and that was hard. That was a hard thing to turn down because, number one, I kind of wanted to go with him. Number two,
so they offered you the head coaching job?
Well, we talked seriously about it, let's say that.
Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
I'm not sure where it started. I first heard it yesterday on a Yahoo Sports podcast called Inside Coverage, is where I first heard this potential idea. Now, I just want to go on record. I have a bias here. I hate this idea. So before we get into it, just know I am biased out in front. I think this would be the worst thing the Cardinals do all offseason. And I was somebody that hated their offseason, that hated what they did in free agency, didn't like them taking Jeremiah Love number 3 overall. I've had plenty of gripes with what the Cardinals have done this offseason. This one would be the cherry on top. This one would be the stupidest of them all. Because on the Inside Coverage podcast for Yahoo Sports, this is Andrew Siciliano, NFL reporter Charles Robinson, and Jory Epstein. They were talking about the Steelers placing the tender tag onto Aaron Rodgers. Why would they do that? What's going on? Will Rodgers return to Pittsburgh? And I want to play you a cut from this podcast. I want to play you a chunk of it because there's plenty of reason on paper why what is about to be said in this podcast clip actually makes sense. Producer Evan, please.
And now if you're the Cardinals, and what did we hear in the draft? Oh, they drafted Jeremiah Love because he's the number one player on their board, which I heard, but also he'll put butts in seats. Well, if you're going to pay a quarterback $20 million, if now you have a bridge quarterback who's on a 2-year deal and feels underpaid, if you're going to pay a quarterback $20 million to put butts in seats, and you've got an offensive coordinator who's best buddies with Aaron Rodgers, what quarterback do you think will put butts in seats in Arizona? I'm just saying, again, this is me right now connecting dots with the Arizona situation.
You've got a quarterback who wants more money. You've got a team that at no point has wanted to name a QB1. You have Pittsburgh, for whatever reason, not re-signing Aaron Rodgers at this point. Now, it's probably mostly on Rodgers, but it hasn't happened yet. There, I believe, is pressure on Monty to win. You've got, as mentioned in the clip, the connection between Nathaniel Hackett, the offensive coordinator of the Arizona Cardinals, and Aaron Rodgers. Happened when he was in New York. The podcast, it didn't make the cut for clips we wanted to play here, but they talked about that was the reason why Denver hired him, because they thought Rodgers was going to force his way there and make a trade. I mean, there's all sorts of reasons why this is more real than you think. This is not a galaxy brain idea. This isn't, somebody putting on the tinfoil conspiracy hat. Now, I don't think this is likely, but I don't think it's outrageous that it's a thought. It's pretty easy to connect all of these dots. But let me tell you, this would be the worst idea I've seen from the Arizona Cardinals in a really long time. I cannot even begin to describe how bad of an idea this would be for the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, where do I start? I think the first thing that came to mind is you just completely undercut your head coach. Completely. When you sign Aaron Rodgers, I mean, ask a Jets fan. Again, I have a bias. Ask a Jets fan. Ask a Steelers fan. Ask a Packers fan towards the end there. Aaron Rodgers sucks up all of the oxygen in the room. It is all about Aaron Rodgers all the time. The McAfee appearances. It is all consuming. Is that really the situation that's going to set up a first-year rookie head coach for success? Is that a situation that's going to allow Mike LaFleur to develop as a rookie head coach, that is going to allow him to put his best foot forward and establish his culture, establish his leadership? Or is it going to be a situation where, because it's Aaron Rodgers and it's Aaron Rodgers' way or the highway, that Mike LaFleur has no agency as the head coach? That the players aren't going to take to Mike LaFleur as they probably should, and it's going to undercut LaFleur's ability to establish himself and get his feet underneath him in year one, because he is dealing with the personality that is Aaron Rodgers.
And it won't work. But the only way this would work is to put your foot down and say, here it is. Like we have a young head coach. We're trying to get this organization back on the right foot. We would love for you to come in here, but we can't have you undermine what we're doing. We can't bring in veteran guys that you would like in this building. We are trying to build for the future. That wouldn't work for Rodgers, so therefore it would be an issue. But if you could put your foot down, I wouldn't totally not be on board.
Also, hopefully my pro-tanking crowd, my atrocious for Arch group, where's Code when I need him? Hopefully that group recognizes how bad this would be for what they want this season to be. Because Rodgers, while not the MVP that he was in Green Bay, he's still a quarterback that is serviceable enough to win you games that's going to keep you out of the race for a 2027 quarterback. The floor with Rodgers is 5 or 6 wins. That's going to knock you out of range to get a top quarterback next year. Also, if you did this would completely, even more so than it did at the time, make the Carson Beck pick just astonishing. This is another example why you don't have a GM on a different timeline than your head coach. There are so many reasons why this would be a bad idea. Yet I can't put it past Michael Bidwell and the Arizona Cardinals because of what was said in the clip about putting butts in seats, right? And part of the reason why they get Jeremiah Love is for vibes, to get people excited about something, and maybe Rodgers gets some people excited. Now, again, if I had to bet, he goes back to Pittsburgh. If I had to bet, this is all one big nothing burger. But I saw it making the rounds on social. I saw a bunch of people talking about it, and I felt like I needed to weigh in and be like, no, don't do this. I can't find a positive. I can't find a positive as to why you would do this.
No, there is no positive. There's no positive to why you would do this other than you would hope it develops your young quarterback, your young coach. But I at this point in his career, I don't know what he can do for a young coach other than he played for his brother. Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Played for his brother for 2 years, has worked with Hackett forever. I mean, again, there's a reason why the connections will make sense, but I keep going back to, who does this help? This doesn't help LaFleur. It doesn't help the Cardinals. It puts them in a terrible position to get a quarterback in 2027. And again, I'm not pro tanking whole seasons, but if you're somebody who's in that crowd, you can't be on board with this. I mean, there's just so many ways this hurts LaFleur getting himself up to speed as a head coach. It hurts the team long-term. It would be chasing short-term business success in jersey sales, in ticket sales for next year, in just some buzz and excitement before the season started. No, this absolutely cannot happen. I don't think it will happen, but you had a top NFL reporter throw it out there yesterday as, hey, this could be a team that could be in the mix here. No, we're good. We're good. We're okay. No, thank you. This would be an awful idea. Producer Evan this morning was like, no, it may be a good idea. I had to scream at him.
Changed up
I had
on
to
it,
scream
Beth.
at him this morning.
But it was one of those things where I wasn't all out this morning. I wasn't all out.
Now you're all out.
Now I'm all out.
There's just there's no good way to, maybe the way you convince yourself it's a good idea is that they'll win more games than they probably would have with Brissett and Minshew and Beck. And so LaFleur gets some winning under his belt. But even then, what does that do for you in 2027? What does that do for you in terms of your search for a quarterback? Because then you're just going to be kind of stuck in the middle of, we were good enough, but we're not in position to get a young quarterback, so we're just going to do this bridge QB thing over and over and over again. That's not a winning formula either. So, no, I'm out. I'm good. This is a bad idea. It would be a disaster for everybody involved. Don't do this. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, it is a Thursday, which means it is a Take a Note Thursday. We'll give you the latest on some Take a Notes, and we'll share some new ones that we want to add to the list. We'll do it next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RTO Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RTO Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
I get by with a little help from my friends.
Ringo Starr and his all-star band. With friends Steve Lukather from Toto. From Men at Work, Colin Hay. From Average White Band, Hamish Stewart. Friday, June 12th, 7:30 p.m., Gamage Auditorium. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Produced by Danny Zalesko Presents.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. However, if left untreated, could lead to costly repairs. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, rollers, and openers are tested by running them up and down, open and closed, all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
Is the crew on their way so we can fire up the grill?
Cabrito, arrachera. They're gonna love it.
Better go with birria and carne en su jugo. Classic Jalisco dishes with tradition.
That seasoning is great, but northern Mexican-style meat speaks for itself. Let's make both.
Deal. And to boost the flavor, ice-cold Pepsi. Its sweetness pairs perfectly.
And to go with it, flour tortillas.
And corn ones too. Hey, carne asada deserves Pepsi.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
Was Kevin Durant out because it is a 7-game series and we could afford to lose a game? Maybe. I was surprised to see him on the bench. Everyone was surprised. The odds makers were surprised. Who knew that the Houston Rockets without Durant can't find someone to make a bucket? You know, Sengun's a very good player, and in years past, he might have been the guy to try and carry the load, but it didn't look good at all for the Rockets without KD.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m.
One of my taking notes is still alive, producer Evan. Can I get the breaking news sounder, please? I need the breaking news sounder before we get in. Thank you. Ildemaro Vargas just hit a single. He now has hit in 26 consecutive games, 23 of them to start this season. Because one of my taking notes is Ildemaro Vargas related. And I walked into your studio to tell you something, and I walked back in here, and he was up to bat, and he was 0 for 1. And then the thought clicked of, he's a take a note. I kind of need him to get a hit here because it's kind of related.
So, yes, you still do have that one. The only other ones to close out is me, which is the Suns will take whoever they play to 6 games.
Hold on.
Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome.
That one is wrong. But that's the only one to close out to this point.
Okay. I've got 2 that I'd like to add.
Of course.
Take a note. We will get 4 Game 7s in the first round of the NBA playoffs.
Whoa. Okay.
So you have 3 Game 6s tonight, and you have 3 Game 6s tomorrow. 4 of them go to Game 7.
So you're saying that in 4 of the 6,
yep,
the team. All right, give me the 4.
So if
now,
I had
you knew I was coming with that.
Of course, if I had to guess, I think Denver forces a Game 7. I think Detroit forces a Game 7. I think Houston forces a Game 7. And I think Toronto forces a Game 7. Although you could convince me that Atlanta forces a Game 7 tonight against the Knicks.
That's the one that I think I thought you were going to go with.
Yeah,
Atlanta could force a Game 7. I don't think the Sixers will force Game 7.
I need 2 tonight to feel good, right? I need to be halfway there.
Because you can't get swept tonight and then you're out.
I get swept tonight, it's over.
Yeah, so you need 3 of them to force games. You need at least 2.
I need at least 2 to feel good. 1 gives me a mathematical chance.
Okay.
But 4 Game 7s in the first round of the NBA playoffs. Which, by the way, will make for a fun weekend of basketball, just so everybody knows.
By the way, I feel pretty good about mine.
Okay.
Which is that the Celtics won't win the NBA title, which was an early take a note for me.
Well, I mean, you
feel pretty good right about that.
Be rooting for the 76ers.
I am, yeah.
And then
I'm rooting for the 76ers. Take a note. Mark Williams won't be a member of the Suns at the start of next year.
Whoa, so you're saying they're just going to roll with Kamal Malawach and Oso and maybe add a veteran center?
Correct.
Write this down. I know we keep a worksheet of future potential topics. But let's explore what that would look like if they went out and got a veteran center that didn't cost as much. What they might be able to do with that money. Now, I don't want to get in front of myself, but I was doing a little research last night. I was looking at potential additions for this team. I found a player that I may be interested in. I don't want to say it yet because I want to keep doing the work. But I found somebody that if they ultimately get to free agency, because everyone's got bird rights and restricted free agents and all the rules in the NBA, if this person actually gets to free agency, I wonder if he could be in play for the Suns. I wonder. But that's all I'll say. But yeah, let's imagine what it would be like if they brought in a veteran center on like a 1-year deal that could technically be the starter. Malawach could be in the backup role. You're not committing long-term to Mark Williams.
I don't know what Andre Drummond is on in Philadelphia, but a guy like that who could come in and take some of the pressure off I think that'd be perfect. You got another one?
I've got one more. Ildemaro Vargas will get his hitting streak to 31 games to start the season. That would be the longest such streak
you're doubling
since
down
1940. Now, DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak did not happen to start the season. Pete Rose, who was the closest to getting to DiMaggio, I think he got to 44. That was not to start a season. The longest streak to start a season since 1940 is 30 games. We gave you that stat in the open of the show. Ildemaro Vargas gets to 31. He's at 23 right now to start the year. So we got 8 more games.
Take a note. Cade Stroud will be called up in the next 2 weeks.
Wow. Guys jumping the gun on our segment in the next hour, talking about replacements and some potential fixes for this Diamondbacks bullpen.
It's all about where it falls.
I mean, do you know his numbers from down in AAA?
We looked at him this morning.
I've got them if you want them.
Would you like to read them?
I had them. Hold on. Where'd they go? Sometimes I just hate technology. I had it saved because I knew we were doing the segment in hour number 2, and it's just gone. In 10 2/3 innings, and by the way, shout out to D-Back Stats and Info. That's where I got this. A .84 ERA. He's allowed 1 earned run in the 10 2/3 innings, 11 strikeouts, 6 walks, 7 hits. That's what Cade Stroud has done down in the minors, down in AAA. I love this. So you said Cade Stroud will what?
Will be called up in the next 2 weeks.
So 2 weeks. You're giving yourself a...
So it's April 30th right now.
So
I'll give myself till May 13th.
Yeah, I think that works. May 13th for him to be called up. I mean, he's got a sub-1 ERA in Reno.
It's quite the place to hit.
Right, yeah, right. So to have a sub-1 ERA in Reno certainly is impressive. That's it for me. You got anything else you got to add to the?
No, that's it. I only had two.
Couple of take a notes here on a take a note Thursday. We got a jam-packed hour number 2. We'll kick it off with a little buy or sell. We'll do it next. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, choose the attorneys at Sweet James. They help you navigate the legal process and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to. Free case review. Help available 24/7. Hablamos Español. 809 million. 809 million. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney Bobby Tick-Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
Florence and the Machine presents the Everybody Scream Tour. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, Saturday, May 9th. The incomparable Florence and the Machine returns. With special guest, Mannequin Pussy. On sale now at livenation.com. The new album, Everybody Scream, available now. Everybody Scream.
On May 3rd, experience the hits, the history, and the harmony that defined a generation. War, live at Stargazer Pavilion at Cliff Castle Casino Hotel. After decades of iconic hits, you can watch War live at Cliff Castle on May 3rd. With tickets starting at just $45, get yours today at cliffcastlecasinohotel.com or at the Hunt and Gather gift shop.
Hello?
Hey, sis. Got a sec?
Yeah, what's up?
Take a look at the picture I just sent you. I'm walking into Hellsburg and want to get Mom something special for Mother's Day.
Yeah, she's done so much for us this year. Let's see. Diamond pendant. Oh, she'd love this.
Great. I'll get this, which means you're in charge of flowers.
Okay, deal.
This Mother's Day, save up to 50% on timeless gifts for Mom. Shop at a store near you or at hellsburg.com.
Big fat news. Del yeah. Big fat tacos are back at Del Taco. Get these toasty flatbread tacos with seasoned beef, grilled chicken, or carne asada steak. Right now, grab 2 grilled chicken big fat tacos for just $6 small. Need a little something extra? For a limited time, score Del's classic snack tacos with seasoned beef and fresh house grated cheddar for just 59 cents each. Only at Del Taco. Price and participation may vary.
If you're a pro, you know you need paint and primer fast, and the Home Depot has you covered with same-day or next-day deliveries so you can stay on site and on schedule. Get high-quality Behr paints and Kills primers delivered right to your job site. And with the Home Depot app, reordering is faster than ever. Just pick your paint, track your order, and get your go-to color in no time. No delays, no extra trips, just the paint and primer you need when you need it. The Home Depot, how pros get more done. Limitations may apply, not available in all markets. See store for details.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hour number 2. The lunch break right here. KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert. Producer Evan is on the other side of the glass. We start hour number 2. The hottest sports takes in the Valley. Buy or sell.
All right.
I mean, you take over the show.
That was a split second.
I welcome everybody back.
I was giving a dramatic pause.
I hit the music.
And I went dramatic
I
pause.
set it up, and then I get out of the way. I'm just a passenger now. You're driving the bus.
I am.
I'm just a passenger.
And I'm going to drive it a direction you don't want to go. Aaron Rodgers will be the starting quarterback week 1.
No, he'll be back in Pittsburgh. I do think a part of the conversation that was had yesterday and that we had in the first hour of the show is he hasn't signed with Pittsburgh, so we're trying to see what could be up. It's the offseason. There's not a whole lot being talked about since the draft's in the rearview mirror, so I don't want to say, because Charles Robinson wasn't reporting it. He was just kind of connecting dots of why would Pittsburgh put the tender on him? Are they afraid that somebody else is going to get him? Who could that somebody be? And then he connected the dots. Well, Arizona because X, Y, and Z. And we shared all those reasons when we talked about it. But again, I just think it's a hypothetical. I don't think there's anything serious to it. But I can't put it past Michael Bidwell to try to chase the short-term reward of ticket sales and jersey sales and excitement about this offense with Rodgers under center. Like, you could see a world where they try to chase that. Now, is Rodgers interested? All of these questions that need to be confronted before this becomes a reality. Again, I think he's just going back to Pittsburgh. At this stage of his career, he's going to want to win. He's not going to win a lot here. He's not going to come in here and win 11, 12 games and go to the playoffs and win the division. Like, at this stage of his career, is he really going to go to the hardest division in football? No, you're not going to do that. He's going back to Pittsburgh.
Doesn't make much sense. I get it. Suns will make multiple free agent signings this offseason.
Yeah, they may not be, Sham Charania breaking news on ESPN worthy, but I do think there will be some new faces on this team.
Anybody notable?
Well, can I tell you what my current working theory is? The players that both, I think, have the most value in a trade and the Suns would be willing to move are Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal, right? Those are the two guys that I think would carry the most value. And again, the Suns are willing to move. So you trade those guys, you get draft picks back, whatever the case may be. And now you have 2 free roster spots. So those are 2 free roster spots that you can go out and sign some free agents with. So that's how I get to 2.
I like it. Good math there.
Thank you.
Yeah. The Cardinals will use Trey Benson sparingly in the kick return game.
Boy, I went through a roller coaster on that take. Sparingly, yes, I was in because he was not going to be used at all. He's RB4. Sorry, I was just looking at Suns contracts again. Sparingly. They brought in Devin Duvernay, who's a returner. I mean, was that Trey Benson's game at all in college? I don't remember.
I don't think at all.
So we're going to throw somebody back there who's never really done it?
How else are you going to use him? And you have to use him. You took him in day 2.
Oh, no. Please. Trust me, I just watched them do this. Just because you use a day 2 pick on somebody does not mean they have to play. Ask Carson Beck because he will not be playing through the first half of the season. So, no. Don't worry about that.
Believers in that.
Sparingly, I don't think so. No.
No, he won't get an opportunity.
They may put him back there and see. But when it comes to the regular season, I think Duvernay is going to be their return guy.
The D-backs will need to add starting pitchers at the deadline, given their current problem. Bullpen.
Corbin Burns is going to come back, right?
This is what you hate to say, though.
No. Hold on. I'm not saying that it should stop them from getting a starter. But is there a world where he comes back if Soroka continues to struggle? Brandon Pfaadt comes back into the rotation. Soroka becomes your long man. He's better in that role. And your bullpen configuration kind of changes a little bit. You've got Cade Stroud. You've got Brandon Garcia. You've got Dre Jameson down in AAA that could also help. Like, AJ Puck is going to come back here at some point. Like, there are pieces that I think are going to be evaluated first before we start
100%
changing this up. And if the spirit of your question is about helping the bullpen, I don't think getting a starter is what they will do. I think it will be they'll first go to the crop of young guys they have in AAA, and then I think they'll get A.J. Puck back. But then I think they'll go hard in we're going to load up on relievers at the trade deadline. I don't think it would be a starter, though.
That makes sense.
Because, again, I'll use the thing you hate. Gordon Burns come back, so we don't need a starter.
You know, it's like making a trade.
It's like acquiring a Cy Young candidate.
It's like we
just
acquired
acquired
a Cy Young
candidate. We just acquired
who's been on my roster the entire year.
We just
and
acquired
who
him.
we've projected to be back the entire year.
Right.
So you're looking still at this ball club with him on it.
Right. When you did your preseason look at the team,
you said he's going to be on this team.
It was done with him coming back at a certain time. So when he comes back, you can't say, wow, it's like, like we just acquired a Cy Young. No, you had that into your formula when you built the team in the beginning of the season. Now you've played a bunch of games. You can't now go back to your priors. That doesn't work that way. That's why I hate that argument.
No,
when you build the team in the offseason, you build it knowing all of these things.
Yes.
Then actual games get played. You can't now go back to, well, when we put the team together, we were going to get A.J. Puck back and get Corbin Burns back. It's like getting a Cy Young. Well, no, you built a team before that. You built a team and then played a bunch of games. This team's got problems. The fix isn't the thing you accounted for at the beginning. Doesn't work that way.
It does not work that way. The Cardinals will add offensive line depth before the start of training camp.
Yeah. I think they'll bring somebody in. And then you always have to kind of consider guys are going to be roster cuts on other teams, right? And so there's going to be some decent talent that all of a sudden, shakes loose that the Cardinals can maybe swoop up. So, yeah, I think they'll make another addition to the offensive line.
I think it's going to be interesting to see if they can find somebody they think they can rotate in or start a tackle.
Well, right now, this is what they have at tackle. They have Elijah Wilkerson and Oli Udoa as the backup, who they signed in free agents. That's the right side. The left side is Paris Johnson Jr., and then Josh Fryer is the backup. They got John Gaines. They've got Hayden Connor. They've got Isaiah Adams, all along the interior as depth. And they signed a lot of guys to this offensive line. Brought in Matt Pryor as well. And they made 4 additions to the offensive line in free agency. Samalu, Wilkerson, Udoa, Pryor, along with drafting Basantis. I don't love how they got here, but they certainly invested some resources here. They could have done more, and I think they could have done better.
Listen, we said they probably need 3 new starters on the offensive line. I think they at least have 2.
They got 2. Basantis and Samalu are 2
starters at guard.
Yes. I will grant them that I said you needed to get 3 starters. They got 2. I feel comfortable with 2 of the 3 starters.
And how could you not? Right? Like, there's still upgrades. I think Basantis is going to be really good.
I did not want to watch Isaiah Adams play right guard next season. I really didn't. I know. I'm sorry if Isaiah's listening, if his family's listening. He's probably a nice person. They needed to upgrade in that spot, especially if you're going to draft Jeremiah Love number 3 overall. You can't roll back the same right side of the offensive line that you had last year. I mean, him and Jonah Williams. I think in a past show I called them both traffic cones. I think I said that because that's how I felt. It felt like 2 traffic cones could have done better. Now, I know that's probably not true. I know they're very talented players, but it just wasn't working. Chase Basantis is an upgrade.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is the 4th offensive option coming into the season.
Okay. So, let's get in the mind of producer Evan here. He is saying that Jeremiah Love is in front of Marv on this chart. Trey McBride is ahead of Marv on this chart, and he's also putting Michael Wilson ahead of him on this chart. That's how he gets to Marv being number 4. And to that, I say,
what?
No.
Who's not in front of him?
How about this? Marv is the number 2 option.
McBride
1, Marv 2, Jeremiah Love 3, Michael Wilson 4.
No way.
That's how I see it.
This is an impromptu buy or sell, by the way.
Okay.
The D-backs, now down 8-1, should throw nothing but position players.
They can't do that. So I'm gonna give you the buzzer because they can't. I forget what the new rules are because we don't find these situations very often. But
There's new rules?
There's rules on when position players can pitch. I don't think it can be as early in the game as we are right now. Right, they're in the 6th.
I think they're earlier than that.
Is it the 5th?
I think it's the 5th.
Okay. Either way, I don't think you can do that, and I don't think 7 runs, being down 7 runs, is enough. I think it has to be 8 or more, and
it's 8.
It may need to be double digits. So you said it's 8.
The team is trailing by at least 8 runs. Their team is winning by at least 10 runs in the 9th inning.
Right.
So you can only bring them in if you're winning in the 9th. I think outside of that, you can bring in a position player whenever you're down by 8 runs.
Well, they're down 7 right now. So right now we can't even do it.
And any game in extra innings. So if you're down by 8, you can bring him in whenever. So if the D-backs go down 8, they should bring in nothing but position players.
They'll do
but
that.
But then if you score, then you're going to have to bring somebody back.
They'll do that in the 8th and the 9th. Probably definitely the 9th if this gets completely out of hand. But no, I'll give it to you one more time.
That's all I got for you.
Really? A very quick buy or sell tonight.
I know we said that. We ran through 6.
That's good for us.
We're typically not on time here in buy or sell.
And again, not on time. A minute over still. But for us, that might as well be on time.
Exactly.
I mean, for us being only 1 minute over is
very impressive.
Download the free KDUS AM 1060 app. You can listen over there for your chance to win 4 tickets to the Diamondbacks when they take on the New York Mets next Saturday, May 9th at Chase Field, Star Wars night. You can get a Gabby Moreno Mandalorian bobble if you're one of the first 25,000 fans to the game. We've got your chance to win 4 tickets to that game next Saturday for listening on the free KDUS AM 1060 app. When we come back, the first bit of help, it has arrived. Will there be more on the way? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
ASU Weekend Baseball happening over on KAZG 1440. Join the Sun Devils on the Diamond this Friday as they travel to Florida to take on UCF. Head coach Philippe Bloomquist is ready to start off May baseball with a road win. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, on the call live. It's game 1 between ASU and the University of Central Florida. Pregame at 2:45 p.m. and first pitch at 3 over on KAZG 1440.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire America's largest injury law firm for your case? There's lots of reasons. Just like there's a reason millions of people called us last year in their time of need. When it comes to fighting for justice and compensation, millions of people across the country trust us to go to battle for them. We became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This ain't pop. This ain't pretty. This is Southern hospitality. The Black Crows, Whiskey Myers, blues-soaked guitars, outlaw swagger. Rock and roll the way it was meant to be. Loud, raw, and real. The Southern Hospitality Tour. The Black Crows, Whiskey Myers. Saturday, August 15th. Mortgage Matchup Center. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com.
Casino Arizona is uniquely Arizona. Feel at home with the Valley's one true locals casino, from the welcoming, friendly smiles to the slot win high five celebrations. Picture yourself with the coolest cast at our blackjack tables. Dine like a rock star at our buffet or Choice Steakhouse, where even the steaks are famous. Want to stack up rewards while having fun at your favorite casino? Join Salt River Rewards, and the excitement keeps rising with every return visit. Casino Arizona, uniquely Arizona. Must be 21 years of age or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
When I was a kid, my dream wasn't a mansion. It wasn't a yacht. It was a 250cc Kawasaki dirt bike sitting in the garage. That garage and that bike represented freedom. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello. At A1 Garage Door Service, We know your garage holds more than tools. It holds dreams. From repairs to upgrades, call A1 Garage Door Service today or schedule online at a1garage.com.
A1 from day one.
Hey, it's Phil Shaver with HomeSmart, and I want to buy your house. I'm a local investor that buys homes for cash all over Maricopa and Pinell County. I buy inherited homes, nice homes, rental homes, homes that are behind on mortgage payments, and I even buy ugly homes that need fixing. Also, are you looking to get closer to market value for your house? As a licensed realtor, I've been able to buy and sell thousands of homes. Since I'm local, you can call me directly on my cell phone, 480-409-9999. Again, that's 480-409-9999. I don't work for a big corporation or hedge fund, so I can only buy 3 to 5 homes per month. There are no fees involved, and you can pick your own close date. The best part is I buy homes as is, so you don't have to worry about doing any repairs. Again, you can call me directly at 480-409-9999, or you can go to my website, gosoldaz.com. That's gosoldaz.com.
Expected to seek their way back to the tour. And when that process begins, the tour cannot afford to treat reinstatement lightly. This is a moment for the PGA to send a clear message. It already has, at least in part through the framework reportedly tied to Brooks Koepka, a $5 million charitable contribution, loss of access to the 2026 FedEx Cup, no sponsor exemptions into signature events, and the forfeiture of PGA Tour equity for 5 seasons. That's around $50 million. Players like Bryson DeChambeau and Jon Rahm joined the rival league, built to challenge and potentially weaken the very tour that elevated their profiles. If Liv's gamble failed, re-entry should not come without consequences. PGA Tour has every right to protect its structure. If stars want to be back in, the bill should reflect the bet that they made. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. When money's tight and you're behind, it can be tough to play catch-up. But Liberty Mutual can help you make a comeback, a fourth quarter go-ahead drive, if you will. Liberty Mutual is clutch by customizing your car and home insurance to save you money, especially when you bundle. It's insurance built for real people with a team that works hard to help keep more of what matters most in your pocket, money. Liberty, 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 Liberty. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local independent agent, libertymutual.com. 2 words, prostate exam. Relax. Screening starts with a simple finger-free blood test. Around 1 in 8 men in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Prostate cancer can have over a 99% 5-year relative survival rate when caught at a localized or regional stage. If you're 40 or over and have a prostate, visit relaxitsabloodtest.com to see if a PSA blood test is right for you. Talk to your doctor about screening and the next steps. Sponsored by Novartis.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RTO Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RTO Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
Diamondbacks trailing in the 5th inning. Philip Abner on for his first bit of work this season. Couldn't have timed it any better because we're talking about the Diamondbacks bullpen and reinforcements being on their way, or at least maybe there should be some reinforcements on the way. Abner was added to the roster before yesterday's game. Andrew Hoffman sent down to allow the Diamondbacks to carry another reliever, to carry a lefty for the first time all season. And look, Abner's going to provide some help. He's going to provide that lefty look when they need it. Late in games when they're trying to hold on to a lead, that's nice. It's probably good for Torrey to have that option, but they need more reinforcements. They need more help from the starters. I mean, this bullpen right now is unsustainable. The Diamondbacks relievers have been used to a point where there's like 7 or 8 of them. We shared these numbers with you yesterday. 7 or 8 of them that are going to set career highs in either games appeared in innings pitched, or both. That's right. There are some relievers right now through the first 19 games of the season that are on pace to set career highs in innings pitched and games appeared in. Unsustainable. Will not survive a season at that pace. You've got 4 guys right now on pace to appear in 80 games or more. You will not survive a season that way. You will blow through those arms. So there's 2 ways to do this. There's you get reinforcements in the pen, or you get more from your starters. Now, I would argue you need both of those things. You're always going to go through arms over the course of a regular season, so you need to have high-quality options ready in Reno. But it's also fair to say the starters need to do more. I'm watching the bottom of the 5th, and the Diamondback starter did not pitch that inning. So that average that we talked about over their last 8 games, make it 9 games where they have an average of 4 innings from their starter. They need both of them. They can ask for Cade Stroud to come up with his sub-1 ERA. They can look at Dre Jameson. They can maybe ask Brandon Garcia. They can maybe pull those guys when they wear these arms out, because they will. You think Jonathan Loaisiga is going to be able to hold up with the injury history that he has being used this much? You think Paul Sewald, at this stage of his career, can be used as much as he's being used? And I know he's the closer, but still. You cannot run these guys into the ground. You won't have a bullpen come July. Cade Stroud, the main piece that you got back in the Blaze Alexander trade. It was producer Evans take a note here today on the Thursday. Probably going to be up here pretty soon as a fresh arm. Brandon Garcia, Dre Jameson. They got Burgos down there, another arm that they acquired last year. All of these guys are on the table, and they are going to be asked to come up here and pitch some high-leverage innings. But the place that I want to go is the starters. Over your last 9 games, you've gotten an average. We shared these numbers in the open before the Diamondbacks got started today. Over their last 8 starts, they've gotten 32 1/3 innings, and it's an ERA north of 9. Well, today, what did they score on Soroka? 8? And he only went 4 innings, so the numbers didn't improve all that much, if at all.
8 runs in 4 innings.
You need more from your starters. And isn't it funny how we sit here 19 games into the season, and the thing that we all thought was one of the strengths of the team is right now the thing that might be doing them in the most? The starters are the group that you probably felt the most comfortable with, right? They brought back Merrill Kelly. They brought back Zach Gallen. Brian Nelson had a good end of the year last year. Erod is a vet. You thought maybe he could be a little bit better, but you felt like you had 5 adults in the room. You felt like you had 5 guys that you can turn to give yourself a chance to win. And now they're doing the opposite. They're not giving you a chance to win. And you're winning sometimes in spite of them. You need more from Merrill Kelly. We talked about that yesterday. Merrill Kelly right now is not giving this team a chance. Michael Soroka today did not give the team a chance. Ryan Nelson, as of late, has not given the team a chance. The starters need to give more. I mean, can we just start with 5 innings on average?
I was going to say,
I mean, that's not enough.
Just give me halfway through the game.
But can I get to a place where I need just, 12 outs?
They can't even get halfway through the game right now. And you just need one day where you can get a pitcher into the 7th or the 8th inning. It changes the complexion of how you can rest your bullpen. They don't have a day off in, 7 games now? 6 games?
When's the last Diamondback starter
that went 7 innings? Has there been one this year?
I mean, it's a great question. I don't know. Let's look it up. I mean, let's find the answer, because, I mean, to your point, You need one of those starts every so often. Listen, in today's baseball, you're not getting that every time. You're not getting that every day. Starters don't do
Just
that
not
anymore.
what it is
It's
today.
not the way teams are built. And I can learn to accept that. But you've got Merrill Kelly, you've got Zach Gallen. These are guys that can do this. These are guys that have the ability to do this every so often.
Okay, so they start on the 26th in LA. That's the Gallen start. Did not get into the 7th. Then you have the loss LA 5-4. Who is that? Let's look.
I'm just going to go backwards from yesterday. Erod, 4 2/3. Merrill Kelly went 5 the day before
4
that.
2/3. Let's meet in the middle.
We'll just get there. Ryan Nelson, 5 against the Padres. You got, let me look here. You got a lovely 3 innings from Zach Gallen in the first game against the Padres.
Erod. Oh, we got to have an Erod early start. It's the Erod start against Detroit.
I have to go all the way back to when they were on Apple TV in the beginning of the month.
Yes.
That's how far back I got to go?
It's the Erod start against Detroit on Apple TV.
Soroka went 5 against the White Sox. I'm going to find one. There's got to be one more. Erod 5 against the White Sox. Merrill Kelly 4 1/3 against the White Sox.
So, okay.
No.
So
Ryan Nelson went 1/3 against the Blue Jays.
Gallen only wins 6 in that one.
5 2/3 against the Blue Jays by Gallen. Yeah, I mean, that's. Michael Soroka went 7 innings, allowed 2 earned runs against the Blue Jays. Friday, April 17th. You are nearly 2 weeks removed from the last time a Diamondback finished at least 6 innings.
Erod, 7 innings on this is April 4th.
And then 2 weeks later, Soroka goes 7 against the Blue Jays.
And that's it.
I mean, that's not sustainable. Not with a bullpen that, remember, coming into the season, we were like, I don't know how much we like this group. And they've been good. We can be honest, they've been way better than we thought they were going to be. I mean, this group has exceeded expectations. They have been put in bad position after bad position. They have been utilized so much over these first 19 games.
They have every excuse to be as bad as they were last year.
And they're not.
They're far better.
They're anything but. The starters got to back them up. The starters have to give them more.
Can you hear that?
Can I hear what? You think there's something going on outside?
Yeah.
Should we be concerned? I can't hear anything.
It sounds like a tractor or a construction vehicle.
So you're I guess a little alarmed. You're a little concerned.
I don't even know.
Well, we were already scheduled to take a break here, so I can just take a break and we can maybe try to figure this out together. I don't hear anything. Usually I'm the one that complains. Usually the noises bother me, but I don't hear anything.
I also don't know. It could be a loud sound the computer I record on is making.
Other than I have a buzz in my headphones, but I've been dealing with that for days now. So
didn't want to bring that up.
Well, I mean, it's nothing you can do about it. So just kind of dealing with it over here. We're okay.
We have other headphones.
No, I don't think it's the headphones. I don't think it could be. I'll swap them out during the break and we'll see. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. You can chat away with us over there as well. When we come back, most of the offseason is over. Can the Cardinals do anything else to get better? We'll talk about it next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Tom Izzo, Michigan State head basketball coach.
I've had more than a couple job offers in the NBA and looked at one last year with Phoenix, and my former player, Matt Ispia. And that was hard. That was a hard thing to turn down because, number one, I kind of wanted to go with him.
So they offered you the head coaching job?
Well, we talked seriously about it. Let's say that.
Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
Beat the spring cleaning rush with big savings and priority bookings by calling our heroes over at Zero Res Hey, it's Audrey. I have personal experience with Zero Res. They came in and completely made my home smell way more fresh than it did. And it's not because I smell funky. It's because, I've got pets, and I had family over during the holidays, so we'll blame it on them. And they came and completely helped change my winter blues into springtime cleans. Zero Res removes all of that winter buildup and lingering odors, giving your home a fresh, spring-ready feel, preparing your home for the brighter days ahead. And don't forget about your air ducts, because they are the lungs of your home. And if they're dirty, your indoor air quality is going to suffer. This month, get 3 rooms Zero Resified from Phoenix's #1 carpet cleaner, starting at just $129. And whenever you mention KDUS, receive a free hallway cleaning and take $75 off your air duct cleanings. Call Zero Res right now at 480-507-2419 or go online at ZeroResPhoenix.com and say you want the KDUS special.
Get ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band.
Your man is working hard.
Saturday, August 22nd, 8 p.m. The Salt River Grand Ballroom at Talking Stick Resort. The Gene Simmons Band performing your favorite classic hits. Reserve seats on sale now at Ticketmaster. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
Monument Valley? Check. Grand Canyon? Check. Sedona? Check. Camelback? Check. Think you've seen it all in Arizona? Well, if you haven't been fishing, you haven't seen a thing. From ponds and reservoirs to rivers and lakes, our state has no shortage of ways to cast a line for beginners and pros. And a fishing license is your passport to all of them. Get your license at azgfd.gov and discover a whole new way to see Arizona.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
When I scraped my car in that parking garage, I was worried that it could be a long process to take care of it. Like a landscaper's first day trimming a hedge maze.
I have definitely already been here. Now, was it left, right, or right, left? Well, maybe I'll cut a path out and find my way back later.
But it wasn't like that. I filed a claim in under 2 minutes on the Geico app, and they handled it from there. It was taken care of almost as quickly as it happened.
It feels good to get help quick. It feels good to Geico.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RTO Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RTO Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
Back here on the lunch break. KDUSAM 1060, Chris Schubert, producer Evan. We've reached the quiet part of the NFL offseason. Really won't hear much until training camp rolls around. The Cardinals get to start their training camp a little earlier than everybody else this year because they are in the Hall of Fame game. But it's mostly quiet. And so this kind of gives us a chance to reset a little bit. And everybody after the draft, now that most of the offseason is done, you're seeing everybody want to weigh in with their post-draft power rankings. And depending on where you look, you're going to see the Cardinals either last or pretty close to last. I've seen them 32. I've seen them 30. I've seen them 31. I've seen them basically any of the bottom 3 spots. In the post-draft power rankings, they are viewed as one of the worst teams in all of football. Now, I guess the place we should start is, do we agree with that assertion? Do we agree that they're the worst team in football? I mean, you've got the Tennessee Titans, you've got the New York Jets, you've got the Las Vegas Raiders, you've got the Miami Dolphins. And those are just a couple of teams.
I think they're a bottom 3 team. I think it's them, the Miami Dolphins, the New York Jets.
The idea with Miami is you feel like you may have some high upside quarterback play. In Tennessee, you probably feel the same way, though.
I was going to say, in Tennessee and in Vegas, I feel the same way. My thing in Miami is who's a great high upside quarterback. You and I are shooting up. Did you hear what they're doing?
I mean, they've gutted most of the roster, yeah.
There's a great new promotion for the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
That they are, when you walk into the stadium, randomly, when you scan your ticket, it'll light up gold instead of green when you walk in. And that means, come on down, you're playing receiver here in the second half. Can't tell if you loved it or hated
No,
it.
I loved it. I loved it. I saw what you were doing. I gave you the space to do it. Miami did gut that roster. They don't have a great wide receiver room, as producer Evan just eloquently pointed out. And so, yeah, I think the Cardinals are in this conversation, but you could convince me that Miami's worse. You could convince me that the Jets are worse. You could convince me that Tennessee is worse. I mean, I think all of these teams are kind of in this conversation. And I think with the Cardinals, it's what are they going to get at quarterback? It's probably a lot to do with, man, it feels right now that they probably have 6 automatic losses because of the division that they play in. Now, I don't think it's going to work out that way, but I don't blame you for looking at the Cardinals' current state of affairs and look at the division they play in and say, you know what? It's going to be tough for them. They're going to be one of the worst teams in football, right? I mean, I understand you getting to that place. And there are plenty of the quarterback position. What does the offensive line look like? You made some changes. The right side of the offensive line is a little bit of a question mark. You're starting a rookie at right guard, and I don't know if your right tackle is an answer to that problem. It may just be another version of what you had with Jonah Williams last year. The wide receiver room. Is Michael Wilson the wide receiver one on this team? Is Marv going to give you more? What does that room actually look like? And then the question that I think everybody in football is trying to answer right now, how do we get after the quarterback? How do we disrupt the QB? The Cardinals have one answer in Josh Sweat. Do they have a running mate for him? Do they have somebody else, whether it's Zaven Collins, whether it's Darius Robinson, whether it's Walter Nolan? I mean, pick your poison. Can somebody else be that guy? These are all the questions that I think lead to you thinking the Cardinals are one of the bottom 3 teams in all of football, right? Jacoby Brissett was the quarterback last year. They didn't win a game. The offensive line, yeah, they changed out some pieces, but it's a brand new unit. They got to gel. They got 3 new starters, right? 3 guys that are brand new starters. New starting left guard, new starting right guard, new starting right tackle. It's going to take some time to gel. What do you really have in the wide receiver department? What about your pass rush? All of these are questions that make people go, you know what? I don't see how this team wins. They don't have a quarterback that's going to be able to carry them. They're not going to be able to disrupt the QB. Are they going to be able to protect the QB, allow Jeremiah Love to flourish? I mean, all these reasons lead you to it's one of the worst teams in football.
Yeah. And on top of all of that, you just feel like there's going to be a learning curve for a young head coach.
So, is there a way still at this late stage of the offseason to get yourself better, to improve yourself in any of those areas? Well, quarterback, no, you're kind of locked in there. Wide receiver, maybe. I looked at the free agents today, and you know the name that jumped immediately off the page for me? I didn't go into this with this guy on my mind, but I saw him there on the page. It brought a smile to my face. Do you know who it was? Do you know who was on the page? I saw Keenan Allen's name on the page, and I just was like, oh, I remember last summer. I remember when we did the whole sign Keenan Allen last summer. It brought a smile to my face when I was doing the research this morning.
They didn't sign Amari Cooper.
Right, they didn't sign Amari Cooper either. Some options there. Maybe they sign another offensive lineman. You asked me that in buy or sell, right? Could they sign an offensive lineman to...
And you bought it.
I did. I think they'll bring in somebody, but at this stage of the offseason, there's a reason why guys are still free agents. I mean, these are guys that have some warts, that are injured, are old, have been inconsistent, maybe sometimes a combination of 2 or 3 of those things. But that's what's available left in free agency. So most of this is kind of baked in at this point. You're kind of committed with this group. You may be able to make a move here, a move there. Somebody gets cut someplace else. You're able to improve a little bit on the margins. But Wholesale, this is the offensive line you're going to get. This is the wide receiver room they're going to have. This is the talent they have at pass rush. It's either going to work. The player development, Nick Rallis, is going to get the most out of Walter Nolan and Darius Robinson, or he's not. The hay's in the barn. And so when you add all that up, I understand why you feel like the Cardinals are going to be one of the worst teams in football.
It's hard not to feel that way sometimes when you look at just how the organization is run at certain times and how they finished last year, because I think you can sit down and say this team has talent. Like, I don't think Jacoby Brissett deserved to lose every game he started. He wasn't that bad. Trey McBride is the best tight end in football. Marvin Harrison Jr., I mean, maybe I'm behind the eight ball, but I'm still holding on to that sliver of hope. That sliver that he could be good because of everything I've seen. And you go back and watch the Ohio State tape, I would still take him at 4. That's how impressive he is. And I just, you had guys come on late. You drafted Jeremiah Love. Like, I just, there's talent on this roster. You just are missing in maybe the two most important positions outside of quarterback.
Can I offer you an alternative perspective? Somebody over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel who says Dr. Robert. Now, if he's actually a doctor, because this is the internet, so I don't actually know. The program has gotten a lot smarter now because we have a doctor that's chatting with us. Said, is it the talent or leadership? And I think a better way to frame that, is it talent or coaching? Because there is an argument to be made that Jonathan Gannon was not the right guy for the job.
Correct.
And LaFleur is, and the coaching is going to get more out of these players. Now, your offensive coordinator is Nathaniel Hackett. Your defensive coordinator is the guy that was here last year. So it's
Take
not
it with a grain of salt.
Right. It's not all sunshine and rainbows in that department, but I could understand maybe saying that the coaching might be able to get more out of these players.
The one thing, too, is you're going to walk in, and Nathaniel Hackett's not going to be the play caller. The times he's had success in this league are when he's the offensive coordinator not being a play caller.
And for you, because you mentioned wanting to still believe in Marv, right? You're betting on Mike LaFleur being just a genius play caller and
being able to get him open. And
scheme him
I don't
open
know if
and
that
get him
helps
confident
anymore, though. Like, I want to believe in Marv. I know there's part of you that believes in Marv. But this is, I mean, it's getting hard to watch. And he cost him the San Fran game early in the year.
that game where he dropped the touchdown. And then there was the Seattle game where he directly led to 2 interceptions.
The Seattle game was the worst first half I've seen played by a receiver in a long time.
So, yeah, maybe the coaching's able to get more out of this group. And yes, they improved on the offensive line. They got 2 new starters. I still think right tackle's a problem, but they addressed it. Hopefully Jeremiah Love can be a superstar. I mean, as much as I critique the pick, Jeremiah Love is a very talented player. The talent of the offense got better in the draft.
Yes, they have talent.
So
they're not void of skill position talent.
Now it's about a coaching staff putting it together and that talent reaching its potential. But that's what you're betting on.
Offensive line that can give you a little bit of time.
That's what you're betting on. And if they're able to do that, then they might be able to surprise some people. But in general, this is the group they've got, and they've got to make the most of it here in year one for Mike LaFleur. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, it is all the stories we didn't get to here today on the show. We call them the leftovers, and we'll get to them next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Was Kevin Durant out because it is a 7-game series and we could afford to lose a game? Maybe. I was surprised to see him on the bench. Everyone was surprised. The odds makers were surprised. Who knew that the Houston Rockets without Durant can't find someone to make a bucket? You know, Sengun's a very good player, and in years past, he might have been the guy to try and carry the load, but it didn't look good at all for the Rockets without KD.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m.
Motley Crue, the return of the Carnival of Sins. September 16th, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. The Crew celebrates the 20th anniversary of Carnival of Sins. Motley Crue, with performances by Tesla, and extreme. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Motley Crue, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Meineke's highly skilled and certified technicians always treat your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care using the best state-of-the-art equipment. You can always depend on Meineke to do the job right and get you back on the road in no time. Save time and schedule an appointment now. Visit Meineke.com today. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
Hey, I'm John Ray, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. An engagement ring might be one of life's biggest purchases. That's why our rings come with an all-inclusive free lifetime warranty that gives you peace of mind without any fine print. How can we offer such an incredible warranty? We take pride in crafting our rings with care and stand behind our quality craftsmanship. After all, this is a family heirloom you'll own forever. Bring in your ring for cleaning, resizing, and repairs anytime you want. We'll make sure it's as sparkly and secure as the day you bought it, fixing prongs, replacing side stones, and so much more. This type of maintenance could cost you $2,000 or more somewhere else. Under our warranty, it's all free. We even protect your diamond. Other warranties don't. Our rings are crafted to last. But in the rare case you lose your diamond, we'll replace it. At Shane Company, your engagement ring purchase isn't just a one-time transaction. We're here to be your jeweler for life, because a friend always has your back. Come by to learn more in store or visit shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
ASU weekend baseball happening over on KAZG 1440. Join the Sun Devils on the diamond this Friday as they travel to Florida to take on UCF. Head coach Willie Bloomquist is ready to start off May baseball with a road win. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, on the call live. It's game one between ASU and the University of Central Florida. Pregame at 2:45 p.m. and first pitch at 3 over on KAZG 1440.
We won't be on the air for it, but producer Evan might get his wish. He might get to see a position player pitch today for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Who do you go to?
James McCann did it earlier in the season.
Yes, you can't go to that again. You got to give a new guy a chance.
Oh, got to give it a different look. Got to really confuse the opposition. My guess is it would be McCann. He's behind the plate.
Yeah, then they're not going to run out a new catcher. Not in this one.
But you could put ADC behind the plate if you wanted to.
You could have Ildemaro Vargas pitch. See if he's good at that.
No. So this is funny. I think he's pitched before with Washington. And he throws like 42-mile-an-hour curveballs that just like plop into the zone. If I remember the video correctly.
Is that I can picture the video in my head. That's Ildemaro Vargas?
I think it is. I think it's Ildemaro Vargas. I think.
Oh, that's awesome. Also, I'm going to start a petition for the A's to stay in Sacramento.
You're just in on the A's.
I am. I don't want to make a claim like this. I think they're my Panthers of Major League Baseball.
Oh no. Oh, way more fun, I think.
Than the Panthers?
Yeah,
A's?
for sure. And I think you've got a chance. I mean, they're playing great to start the year.
They are. They're one of 4 teams in the American League with a above 500 record. Have you seen their closer?
Mason Miller. Yeah, I've heard of him.
No.
He's really good.
They traded him.
Oh.
Because in 2 years, they're going to have Leo DeFreeze, which is going to be an issue for the entire league. But Joel Kuhnel.
Yep.
You know him?
Yep.
This guy's awesome.
You're a big fan. And with that, we'll welcome you into the leftovers. All the stories we didn't get to or the other craziness that we want to get to here on the show. Okay. I will reserve me joining the round of applause until I hear what it's about.
Cam York in the 50.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not applauding the Flyers winning Game 6 last night.
In the 78th minute of the game.
I will tell
Mets won to end the Penguins season, maybe end of Getty Malkin's career, maybe Sidney Crosby.
I will tell you, I was watching some baseball, and I flipped over when overtime started. for the first 12 minutes of overtime.
It was so bad. The Flyers got outplayed
the ice
for
tilt,
50 minutes.
The ice tilt was in one direction and one direction only. It felt like it was destiny that Pittsburgh was going to score a goal to force Game 7. I think when I looked up, I saw for what felt like 5 consecutive minutes, the puck not leave the Philadelphia end of the ice. Like, it felt like Pittsburgh was just doing whatever they wanted.
They couldn't net one. Dan Vladar.
Well, both teams couldn't. It was 0-0 going to overtime.
0-0, but they dominated the Flyers for the entire third period and
the shots
17
were like
minutes of
49 to 29 Pittsburgh at like the 8-minute mark of overtime. I was like, what is happening?
Dan Vladar almost had 50 saves in a shutout last night. It was unbelievable. It was one of the great performances you will ever see.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you that this run is going to continue for you.
Thank you. I know you were rooting hard for Pittsburgh.
Well, Sidney Crosby in a Game 7 would have been fun. I don't have a dog in the race, so I'm rooting for fun. Hence why I said there's going to be 4 Game 7s in the NBA first round, because I don't have a rooting interest. So give me maximum chaos.
Yes. No, I think that's very fair.
By the way, I don't know if you have this in the leftovers. Calais Campbell not coming back to the Cardinals because he is going.
I was just about to tell you that, reuniting with the Ravens for his 19th season.
Sorry. Just wanted to make sure we got it.
By the way, he's on a back 9 tour.
And he's still playing pretty well.
Problem was he was pretty good last year.
I don't want him back. He kind of would have helped.
I thought he was going to be a good piece for this team. I really did. I thought it would have worked out. I was looking around the league. There's a ton of teams that could have used it.
Well, the Ravens just keep doing Ravens things where they just get good players.
Michael, that is correct. It is 11-1.
Yeah. We're going the bottom of the 7th is the next opportunity we have for position player pitching alert.
7th, 8th, 9th.
So
all Ildemaro Vargas.
3 innings of Ildemaro Vargas.
The Packers exercise Lucas Van Ness's 5th-year option.
Starting to see a bunch of teams do that. Really kind of clean up that business and pick those 5th-year options up or decline them or just make those determinations. So, yeah, you're going to see a lot of this with the guys that are still outstanding. I think Cincinnati declined Byron Murphy's.
They did
today.
Yes, correct.
I saw that this
by
morning.
the way, I wouldn't call it breaking news.
Okay, so not sounder worthy.
Not sounder worthy. But I just want to let you know that the Rooneys say that the Steelers remain in regular daily contact with Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything about his contact with the Arizona Cardinals.
Listen, I think it was a good idea thrown out there by Charles Robinson, but I don't think there's any legs to this. I don't, but
yep, I don't either. A way too early mock draft in 2027 has the Arizona Cardinals selecting 2nd.
So not first.
Not first.
That's what picking 2nd would mean, not first.
Yes.
Which means they will not get Arch Manning.
The Miami Dolphins are selecting 1st.
They will be selecting Arch Manning.
No.
What? Dante Moore?
No.
They're not going quarterback?
They are.
Wait, okay, hold on. You just hurt my brain. They're taking a quarterback, number 1 overall, that's not Arch Manning and Dante Moore.
Yes, correct. And this quarterback has recently transferred to his new school. Coming out of Duke.
Is this the Oklahoma State kid?
No, this is Darian Mensah.
Mensah.
I like Mensah. I don't. But the Arizona Cardinals 2nd.
Arch Manning.
Atrocious for Arch.
Where's Code? Code, where you at, buddy? I need Code in here every single time.
And then Dante Moore goes to the New York Jets.
Every time there's a mock draft we talk about with Arch, I just need him to just put in the chat, atrocious for Arch. Like every time we talk about it, it just needs to be just like on cue. It's just in there. I don't even have to think. I just know that if I turn my head, it's going to be there.
By the way, I have a list.
See, there he is. There he is. He put the eyeball emoji in the chat. I knew it. I knew he was lurking. I knew he was there. We talked about Arch Manning. He knows. He knows when to appear.
I have a list here here is my yup, seen enough list.
And this is, okay, so hold on. This is in reference to what? You don't have a lot of time here to explain this.
Yes, yup, seen enough. Players on this list, Caleb Downs.
Meaning?
I know he's going to be good in the league.
Okay.
Jeremiah Smith.
Okay.
Ryan Williams.
Okay.
Jordan Tyson.
Okay.
Nick Harbor.
Okay.
Dylan Stewart.
That's on the yup, I've seen enough list?
Yes.
Okay. It's a small list right now.
We're working on it. And also, yup, you got to be very confident to go on the yup, I've seen enough list.
It's true. It's true. It's going to do it for us. Thursday edition of the show in the books. Jim Rome, he's coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody have a great rest of your Thursday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.